Hey everybody, it's Ron, and I don't usually make news videos like this, but this was something that I was really hoping would happen. So I'm happy to report that Boom Studios is going ahead with a comic book adaptation of the second Dune prequel novel titled House Harkonnen. I reviewed the first comic series called House Atreides, and I was nervous that maybe the sales weren't good enough to move ahead with a sequel, but I guess I was completely wrong, and I'm glad I was wrong because I can't wait for this. I'm really happy that it seems like they're going to continue putting out adaptations of these prequel novels. I'd be cool with them doing single issues of all the Brian Herbert and Kevin J. Anderson stuff, and then it would also be interesting if they continued doing graphic novel adaptations of Frank Herbert's books after they finish part 3 of the first Dune novel. So yeah, it looks like the first issue of House Harkonnen is coming out in January, and if you Google it, a bunch of comic book and Dune news sites provide all of the preview pages as well as the variant covers that you can get. So let's take a look at this stuff. Here are the 2 preview pages, and this is exciting because the Gurney backstory is straight from the book, and right off the bat I'm liking the art by Michael Shelfer. It seems a little cleaner and less scratchy than the artwork from House Atreides, and also has a little bit of the aesthetic from the Waters of Canley miniseries that I really liked as well. But yeah, I like the industrial look of Harko City in the background, so this is looking promising. By the way, I have a full review of the House Harkonnen book that this comic is based on my channel, so I'll put the link in the description if you want to check that out. Thanks. Anyway, I like the look of young Gurney, and this is a pretty tragic origin for him on Giedi Prime. And then on this second page, you get a nice moment with his family before he goes to this tavern, and I also love the look of this too. Just a cool futuristic bar. It's weird to see a bar in the Dune universe, but I like it. And of course it has the Harkonnen flag on it. So yeah, although it does seem in line with more of the cartoony type of art that House Atreides and some of the other one-shots have had, I still think it looks pretty solid, and I know they won't shy away from more of the dark and brutal stuff that happens in this book. So at this point, I trust Brian Herbert and Kevin J. Anderson to deliver another solid Dune adaptation. As far as the variant covers go, they're okay. I like this one with the Baron, and I gotta be honest, I don't know who these two are supposed to be in the background. I think maybe Duke Leto and someone else, not sure. And then I also like this black and white Baron portrait because it reminds me of the old John Schoner art for the original Dune novel, and I like that vibe more than the modern looking stuff personally. Then there's this one with young Jessica, and that's okay as well. Not sure if I'd buy that, but it's okay. And this last one has Duncan Idaho and Duke Leto with the Baron in the sword reflection there. And it's not really my cup of tea either because it kind of makes this look like a young adult book. Okay, so I also want to read the 2 quotes about this upcoming book by Brian Herbert and Kevin J. Anderson real quick. So Brian says, "Speaking for the Frank Herbert family, I am extremely pleased to be able to provide beautifully illustrated comic editions of Dune House Harkonnen for Dune fans. This is the second novel I wrote with Kevin, and the new series launch brings to mind the excitement of our national book tours around the turn of the millennium and the wonderful receptions we received from fans. Our enthusiasm for Frank Herbert's fantastic Dune series has never waned, and our spirits are constantly buoyed by the incredible support we continue to receive from readers. We hope you enjoy the new series as much as we have enjoyed writing the stories." I have to say, I really like the way Brian handles things because I know he has to be aware of some fans not liking what they do with Dune, and instead of yelling at those fans and calling them names, he's very professional and positive about what they're doing, and I respect that. And then to wrap it up, Kevin says, "House Harkonnen is one of my favorites of all the Dune novels Brian and I have written. Dark and emotionally powerful, with some of the most spectacular scenes in the long history set in Frank Herbert's universe. and they just cried out to be done visually. I am so excited that Boom is continuing our Prelude to Dune trilogy in comic form. So yeah, I could pretty much say the same thing for Kevin that I said about Brian, but it's interesting that this book is one of his favorites, and I do agree with him that it is one of the more surprisingly emotional books they've done together. I think I'm most excited to see the Baron fully formed into what we know from the original novel. Also, a slightly older Duke Leto taking charge of House Atreides, and Duncan Idaho training to become a sword master on Ginaz will be visually interesting as well. This is all good news, and I'm excited to review more Dune comics, so look out for my videos covering House Harkonnen in January. Also, check out my Dune playlist if you want more content on the books, comics, and movies. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you're enjoying this content, and thanks for watching. Hey everyone, it's Ron here with a quick announcement. When I started this channel, I was reading and reviewing the Dune books and other sci-fi related material, and most of you might not know that I'm also a musician. So when I was reading these sci-fi books, I started to get inspired and decided to make my own soundtrack to use for my videos, and now I'm excited to tell you all about the first volume in the Ron Reviews original soundtrack collection. This album includes the first 17 tracks featured on my channel, and it's available now exclusively on Bandcamp. Be sure to check the description of this video for the link to the album. Thanks so much for the support so far. I know I'm just starting out, but I hope you're having as much fun as I am. So check out the original soundtrack Volume 1 on Bandcamp. This music is great if you want something moody and atmospheric to listen to while you're reading some science fiction. I think you're going to love it. Thanks.